I got a name back.
Yeah. You got it? Okay. All right.
I'm on.
Cool. So you just go home one?
Yeah, you good. I wouldn't bring up you.
Okay, we're ready. It is 6:40. We're gonna call this meeting to order. 6:40 on August 25th. If we all would all stand for the invocation.
Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we ask for your blessings on everyone here tonight. We're truly grateful to you for allowing us the ability to be involved in the work of our city, and we humbly pray for your wisdom to do the work that is beneficial for all of us. We ask for your guidance in governing our city and to make good decisions. We also ask that your wisdom be present in all of our endeavors. Father, we ask that you please keep your healing hands on our Assistant Fire Chief Curtis Huff and on his wife, Shannon, as she cares for him. We also ask that you watch our city workers as they work out in the heat. Lord, we just ask that you protect them and keep them safe while they work hard for our city. Watch over all of us and keep us safe and healthy. We ask all of these things in your son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there
When I sit down, I just have it bring around some flag.
any announcements? No. Citizens input. You ready? Nobody? Back row.
Now, this paperwork that you have is a new one with the new numbers changed. There's some checks out there to the side to let you know which ones have been changed.
Is this a whole new packet of
This is a general fund.
general fund, and it's only the parts updated of what we updated last night? Okay.
And it's updated till we stopped at code compliance.
Okay, so that's in this packet here. Okay, good. Actually, back there.
Actually, can I get y'all to this page that everybody got a copy of? This was from Danny.
Oh, I'm seeing it now.
And she, before she had given me the quote yesterday, she had mentioned that she would do it for like $500, but she, in this quote, she decided she would have to do it for $650 a month. And to go in, and there's, on the other side, it says the meetings, the forms, payments and events and stuff that she'd be putting on the website. And to totally rebuild our website would be an additional $2,500. And it would take approximately 4 weeks to do it.
Okay, I think all of us would be interested in hearing more about that. We need to add this into,
Now, I did put it in the administration, so I added it in there. We can remove it, but I went ahead and put the totals in there.
okay. In order for us to move on this, we need to have it on the agenda, right?
We can. I
We
don't know
can,
how,
but once we approve this,
we'll have to notify Tony. I don't know how that'll work with the transition. You know, from the old to the new.
Okay, but you've got it in here anyway. We haven't got it.
Yes, we've already done it.
Oh, we did it? Hang on, let me look at it.
Part of the budget. You present the
No
administration.
name.
The city does. And, like she said,
We pay X amount of dollars a year.
there's $200 for the name, and then $20, I think, for the
Yeah,
registration.
there's an admin fee of 2,000 with a check mark. There was something else about internet or.
And then you said 650, because on here it says 700 monthly cost.
Look down below.
Monthly.
What number, what line are you under? Oh, you're on that.
On this?
The blue line.
Oh, flat rate, oh, thank you. Thank you, my bad.
Yeah, I would like to talk to her some more before we rebuild this.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's a rebuild or just a complete new west side or.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And I'd like to see exactly what she's
We-
talking about.
We could, get her to come to our September meeting.
that's what I was thinking.
That'd be good.
You know, give us-
Making a discussion there or never
I'd like to
actually,
see that by.
And we should have this in here if we decided to go with it.
yeah,
So,
okay.
you know,
Let's
and-
stick that on our. if
And
you
I
can.
also, where did I put my paper? Contacted a security company today
ADT,
for general fund. This fee, I changed it from the, I don't remember what it was before, I have to look over. I changed it to 1835. That is for City Hall, for the police department, the alarm system for both sides, and for the cameras for both sides for the entire year.
where you find that?
It's right up above code compliance, it's 2 lines above code compliance.
1661.86.
Oh, security, so explain that again, we went from basically 2,800 down to 1835 or what?
That is for, the reason that it was, where you see the 2378 that was paid, that was, I think Michael had mentioned the setup fee
It
and,
was the
and
setup
so it was a little extra that year.
Ah,
Okay. But this is for, the cameras on both sides and the, security, there's a security system on both sides. There's one that has a keypad here and one that has a keypad next door as they go in, so
plus there's indoor camera on
that,
there.
and this includes all of that for the year. So,
Okay, good.
so that's what that price is for that. I don't know if that's good or bad, so, but I.
Well, for a year, I just figured in a year, what, somebody have to calculate again?
It's not,
1835 divided by 12.
it's not too bad.
No, it's not bad.
You basically got two separate systems.
Yeah,
Divided by 2 and then divided by 12.76.
so you can't beat that.
I think I paid 53, but that's.
Yeah. That's cheap.
That's a lot better than what it was.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
That's what it is for next year.
Okay. All right, so we left off last at code compliance at 1.69.100. And so we're gonna move forward with that. Hopefully we can get through a lot of this tonight. We still got tomorrow night and then part of next week slated for,
No, and tomorrow night.
we
will
should be
be-
finished.
Tomorrow night will be it, and then we'll have our public hearing the following Monday.
Right, and even if we get finished with the budget tonight, well,
Tomorrow we have to approve all the two.
we have to put all the
Yeah,
changes,
we
plus
just-
other,
We go over it. I put on there water sewer in case we need to go back to it, which we didn't really have any items that we had to go back to, so I just wanted to have that option, you know,
and plus the residential land is gonna do their
Yeah.
presentation tomorrow too. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start off with code compliance, salaries. We've got 33,280 budgeted right now.
Who's getting that salary for code compliance right now?
No one's getting it.
That is one that John is proposing for the code.
So I thought we were gonna use our regular policeman. Are you looking at getting another code enforcement that's not LEO certified?
No, they're gonna be certified.
Okay,
They're
so,
gonna do part-time police and mainly do the code. But they
Okay.
can still do write tickets and make the rest. You won't do code.
So you're gonna have three in your budget and one on the, out of the code?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I just wanna know where everyone's money's coming from. That's fine.
So we're gonna have 3 other policemen. But you're gonna take one of them out to do code, is what you're saying,
No.
or you're gonna have 4 other policemen?
There'll be me and 2 officers, and then the
Then a code
4th one's
officer.
gonna be the code, but you still be able to help out.
Is that gonna cover you 24 hours a day, or are we still gonna have to have help from our other communities?
So they have help.
Yeah.
The only way we can cover.
You'd have to, I think you gotta have 8 people to do with bars, 24/7. You have to have eight officers.
Okay.
We did look at that. John knows.
Yeah, it's hard to do 24 without.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm just gonna move on down the line.
So, and you're proposing that one officer get 33,284
Yeah, that's
his salary
63. Yeah, that's
coming completely from code.
That's what,
$16 an hour.
16?
Okay. So are we going to get somebody that's not experienced?
I will hope I get some experience.
Because I did a lot of research on the policeman thing, and I'm finding that someone coming just out of academy is getting 32, 33,000 a year minimum. And if we get people that are experienced, they're getting more like 35,000 a year. So do we need to look at that a little bit differently if we want to get some people here?
Well, when we go to the police one, that's different. For the salaries, on the code thing, it's gonna be different.
So you think that that will be enough for the code officer?
Yeah, because the police department actually has me and 2 other positions. This is almost like adding a part-time officer, so you think that the code.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll be doing 100% code for a while. And then
Yeah,
they'll go, you might be able to go 50/50.
Yeah.
Actually get in the lineup, I guess.
yeah.
That's kind of
That
how
would
we
be the
had.
main thing, is code enforcement.
Yeah, we kind of had it set up like that before, but it just never really came to fruition. It never really happened. What was planned out. Anyway, moving along, there's $600 for overtime, $500 for merit increase, Christmas bonus, contract labor inspection. What would that, what all would that entail?
That's our building inspector that it will
Oh,
be
it's code.
inspecting the
Yeah.
permit.
This, we were way under budget last year, weren't we? This year, I mean, but the last year it was fine. That number's only gonna grow as we start building on his own. FICA incentive. Employment tax doesn't need much work, there's not much to discuss there. City cleanup and dumpsters. Is this all the dumpsters like out here outside of the city hall, as well as the park dumpster and roll-offs at the sewer plant, or?
This will be mostly for cleanup and, but they don't charge us for the city hall, and water plant and sewer plant. Don't charge us for those dumpsters. They do when we have the cleanups, but for as every day, they don't charge us for those.
And we use those roll-offs regardless of whether there's a cleanup going. Okay, all right.
You can still come up here and pay, go down there and done. What does that take up?
A truckload, I think is 35,
35.
and then a
yeah.
trailer load is 60.
Yeah.
We've got people that are doing it, seems like every week now, sometimes twice a week.
Personally, I think we'll look into reducing that cost, especially if it's cleaning up an uninhabitable areas, a trash, have to clean up the city and make it easier and more incentive, cut the process. It's not costing the city anything. for somebody to come do it, is it? I mean, it doesn't cost us nothing except for maybe one guy.
Yeah.
To go in there for 5 to 15 minutes to unload it. And I'd like to see it, you know, we have some people that can't pay $60. Is it 60 plus 30 if you take a truck container
No.
or 60 total? But
$60
$60 is a lot of money for someone on fixed income.
Well, we've also got a couple of older gentlemen that come pretty regular that they're coming in pickup trucks because they can't afford the trailer shot at one time. So they'll just each week they'll come with just a pickup truck.
So
So.
are they coming from the county?
No, we,
No, it's.
Are y'all, we're checking
we're
that?
requiring them to be on
Water
our
person.
water system.
Oh, okay, well, county is, you know.
Yeah.
Okay,
But I mean, that's.
A water
yeah,
bill.
Yeah, a water bill.
yeah.
But I mean, they're not nothing construction materials and stuff like that.
No, it's usually old tin, old metal, trash.
Couches, things like that.
Yeah. And a lot of times it's coming from rent houses, things like that.
I kind of agree with you on that. They are.
I do too. I would say this though, I did have to have a guy down there with.
Oh, yeah,
So, sometimes, it can take a little longer. It can take 30, 45
yeah,
minutes.
I agree, but to me, that'd be worth it for the citizens to be able to, because right now, some people are wondering, is there another place I can do it, I can't afford that. $60 or $30 is a lot of money to some people. We're talking garbage, we're not talking, anything high tech or anything, it's not some places have garbage. But I think we need to look at that in the future.
You do it every day.
No. Do we do it every day?
Yeah. Do you have any special time you can do it or not?
I keep him in the morning, he probably did once this week,
Okay.
so he goes like twice a week.
Yeah, and see, that's a
He's cleaning up around.
prime example.
Yeah.
He's not doing his own house, he's helping somebody that can't do their own
I
house.
saw him yesterday, or it might have been the day before, on the side of the road, picking up furniture someone had threw
Yeah.
in a ditch, and he loaded it up and brought it in.
And those are the kind of things that I don't want to charge people for. It's
I-
wrong.
I agree with that.
We need to take that to the special meeting or whatever, we can stay on.
Okay.
Stay on budget.
Yeah, well, thank you, Greg.
Yeah.
But anyway, we need to make a note of that. Okay, we're down to hit up dumpsters, contract labor and mowing. We haven't done any this year. We haven't done any since, gosh,
This,
2018?
this will pick up when the code officers.
Sure,
It's gonna
sure.
pick up a lot.
But are we gonna use contract or are we gonna use public works?
We'll use
It'd be a
contract,
contractor,
yeah,
public works, that
we don't have time for that. They barely have time to do what they're doing. We could almost go to a 24/7 shift there.
Yeah. wouldn't do it.
And still be short. So, okay, that was mowing at 1,800. Is that gonna, if we were to take off, is 1,800 gonna be enough?
Depends on what they charge.
Right, and it depends on what the code officer has them mow.
People's houses that won't mow their yard.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, that's all, you can't put a number on that until you know how much.
It's a whole month, I
Yeah.
tell you that. And it doesn't have to be mowed every week, just once or twice a year.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say 4 or 5 years ago, I wanna say there was a lot of mowing.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
So-
everywhere, everything.
Yeah, so
I got one next to me needs to be mowed.
Okay, demolition cost at 4,000, that's basically 2 houses.
Before we go on, I have a question.
Yeah,
The unemployment tax, if we're paying a salary, don't we have to do something for the unemployment tax?
We do, but that is not being budgeted in there because that department hasn't had an employee for 2 years. So it's kind of hitting back at the administration.
So,
It,
but if we do hire this officer to do it, aren't we gonna have to have something in that line item for the?
well, we can, but we will know more when we have that employee. But we have enough in administration to cover it because it's like 2.8% right now.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure we weren't missing something on there.
Oh, you talking about the contract labor?
No, unemployment tax.
Unemployment.
Okay, I don't see.
One six nine one five.
Oh, okay, that's it. We're down to demolition costs, 4,000, that's 2,000, that's 2 houses a month, a year. Employee insurance, 11,000. Office supplies, lien expense. Lien expense, is that the cost we incur when we put a lien on a property?
It's, you see that $34 right there?
Yes, ma'am.
That $34 is for one lien that we charged that gentleman that was paying to have it released. That-
Roundtree?
That was, I believe, down in Rabbit Cove edition. There was a
Okay.
house down there. that-
$1,000 lien that they passed on.
And for us, we had to file it with the county and release it. And it's usually that, because it's a page, they charge per page.
Okay. All right, moving on, training and travel. Is $650 gonna be enough if we have an officer that we hire to be primarily code? Is $650 enough? To go, I know you learned it some in the academy, am I correct? I know it's been a long time for you. They may not have done it then, but I think nowadays they get some kind of basic information.
I know. It was $500 2 years ago to go, and then after, they have to go back and take the test later.
But that was for code enforcement. There was another class.
Well, that's
for code
basic code,
compliance.
isn't it?
Uh-huh.
That's basic code. Then after basic code, it's code compliance.
Oh, okay, and then there's code enforcement.
And then there's code enforcement. Third.
So I do,
Because by the time they drive, break that.
yeah, hotel classes.
And those classes are even harder to come by than mine are.
So you put up to 1,000? Is that too much?
Actually, I think you're looking at more like 2 to 3,000. If we were to get somebody that we're gonna actually send to get the proper training and certifications, testing and everything with all.
But they're not gonna be able to do it all in 1 year. The
No,
first year,
yeah,
they're
true.
gonna pass, it's
True.
gonna have to be spread out.
Basics your first year, code compliance your second.
Like what the full year, that position.
Mhm.
That's what it's,
Right. Okay.
Okay.
It works kind of like water. sewer
I mean,
does.
yes,
You have to
it can go up, but I
have a
would
certain
think
amount.
2,000.
Okay.
that's,
So looking at what we've been spending, I would think we leave it alone. And if we do get somebody and we get them in there, we know that 650 should cover the first training. And then we need to put more into it next year to get them to do that. I think we're fine looking at the last 2 years.
And the good news to that, Chris, is that it goes towards your T-call too.
Yeah.
So
And most of them don't like to stay, they like to drive back and forth. I think the school's only like 15.
yeah,
Oh,
they have them all over Texas.
Okay.
I personally think we're good to leave it alone
Okay.
and see what we get this year with it.
It might be our fuel. Leon agreed, Pam?
I agree.
Okay. All right, moving on to, signs. I know that, it's been a number of years ago, probably 6, 7, 8 years ago, that we had some signs made up that, they're all faded now. Some of them are still there, but they're so faded you can't read them. It basically says code enforcement is coming to your neighborhood. Please do this, and don't do this or that. You know, that's the only signs I could think of, unless we're talking about signs of, non-compliance or something. I don't want to use a sign.
I remember those. And I remember, the former code enforcement would bring those out and he would actually chain them to the stop sign. So that nobody would take them.
Well, these are just campaign signs.
It doesn't matter, he still put a lot, something on it. But I think it was Wayne. that did it, Yeah, he would actually attach them to the.
Yeah, you used to pull it out there. The one they put down my neighborhood, it's just like nothing different from that campaign sign.
So that would be nice if we get one. We got some in there. And
We
again,
can They're real cheap.
Yeah.
He went,
Oh, those kind of
Signs that they're
signs.
Yeah.
They stake in their yard and put all the violations. on there.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
Do we have some of these?
No, I got that one from the city store.
but
The code
that's-
enforcement officer over there is.
Yes, everybody say, there it is, guys.
So you're sticking those in the violator chart?
And it's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
We'll start about some goes out.
Not too bad.
I mean, most
Okay,
people are in there,
okay.
some don't care.
All right,
Codes of that.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Good, we'll keep that handy for, when we get in there and
How many signs do you need?
then, we wouldn't need that many. 20 or 30, maybe at the most. I mean,
I think these come,
15, well, yeah, yeah, we can only work so many at a time.
I think these come in like 50.
Yeah.
The more you buy, the cheaper they get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we want a hundred of those.
Okay, moving on, cell phone, $800 a year. What much is it?
The code person is on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's $66 a month is what it is. Vehicle repair and maintenance. We're gonna be using one of our regular squad cars, correct?
Yeah.
So, I mean, of course, we haven't got the year department yet, as far as, vehicle repair and maintenance. Does this kind of bolster up and support the, vehicle repair and maintenance on your part of the budget?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of like it's like another account if we need it, and money's there for repair that we can get it done. Okay. All right, vehicle fuel, $1,000. The code is probably gonna be driving around a lot more than a regular officer, because a lot of officers pull off of their radar or watch traffic for a while. Where this person's gonna be going street, house.
Their field would look a lot more like ours.
Yeah, they're gonna have a lot more, they're gonna have, especially in the summer, they're gonna have a lot more idling because of AC. In the winter, they'll have the flip side of idling because of the heat. Is everybody, $800 in postage? What do y'all think about that?
Back to that,
If he's having to mail out anything.
Yeah, because all of
Certified
these
letter
gotta go out.
today is $7.34.
Yeah,
And you have to send those certified.
that's in certified.
So that's $10, 10 ounces. Yeah, that's 10 certified letters, right?
Yeah.
That's not very much, guys.
Well,
No, that's more than that.
More than that.
10, 7. Oh, I'm thinking $70. I'm thinking $70. What am I thinking? Yeah, there's actually,
That's 8. I think we're good.
Are we doing something with animal control? We're trying to skip that one. Are we gonna start doing that
animal
again?
control.
Yeah, because it's under code, sometimes they have to call somebody.
Do we have anybody we can call anymore?
It's been a
There's a
while.
couple of them out there for real emergencies.
Yeah. We don't have the normal folks we used to all come down and get them.
There's a couple of them, one in Emory and one.
On the animal control,
Huge issue.
it's gonna fall under the code. And I've already talked to several, like most of them have to use Greenwood stuff. And they said that like East Oregon, Ludlow, Emory, Quinlan, they would all contract with us and pay us to do animal control, them to become that animals. And we've got that
Dog catcher truck.
dog truck. And just looking into how much it's gonna cost for us to take the dog there, to see how much we charge you to see to pick up their animals.
So,
We didn't put any revenue.
am I understanding you right? You've talked to some of the other cities about contracting with them and doing theirs, picking up a stray animal, and then us have revenue through that? Well,
We haven't put him.
that's out of the box. That's way out of the box.
Well, actually, East can come to me when I was.
Oh, we got a truck sitting here, why not?
No, it's out of the box thinking, and I love it.
See, in Hunt County the other day had a dog call, they had called Greenville, and Greenville had to get out there. And
Wow.
Okay, so where are we gonna put the animals after we collect them? Take them to Greenville.
And you take Greenville, and I think the Commerce is gonna do.
Commerce is the other one, but they charge a fee too to drop them off.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna look what the fee is.
Yeah.
To see what we charge. Okay.
You have to have training to be an animal control officer.
Then you gotta figure your cost of driving up there and back, your employee cost.
But do we need to add some income for the collection of the service? We don't have that in the income for
I
it.
think he has a great idea. I think we should explore it. We talked about it. I love it, but I think we should probably talk about it.
I don't, until we find out what the, I was asking that, until we find out dollars and cents. I don't know what we would estimate. I don't know what we would.
Then we get through the year with getting somebody on, getting them trained, trialing, and everything. Hopefully next year we can be justified for it.
Yeah.
We need to back up to that fuel thing.
Yes, sir.
That's $5 a week for gas. Can you buy 2 gallons of gas for $5? Is that gonna be enough?
Well, that's because higher to get everybody rolling. We had so much left over in fuel. from budget. that We didn't burn years.
How much you said we?
It's $83 a month.
Oh, I got, yeah, $80 a month, yeah, $20 a week, or basic.
And that's, yeah,
That way you fill up the car halfway.
Because, there ain't no more take home cars and nothing, so it won't be burning away.
Yeah, you ain't gonna use them every day either. That-
Some of that fuel, have to go into animal control too. If you're gonna do that, into that animal control.
Yeah, I think that's why I put 1,500 under animal control, covers some of the cost of that.
Okay.
Okay, so are we okay on total compliance?
I think so.
Are we ready, Leon?
I'm good.
Y'all ready to move on to the police department? Okay. Yeah, no. All right, starting off on salary, which would be chief and 2 officers. As we mentioned before, the 4th officer would actually be paid out of code compliance and not only do code, but also be there, as a law enforcement officer. So we've got 129,880 budget for salary, which this past year we had 156,000 budgeted, and we spent 104, and I know the reason for that. That's understandable, but even to go back to 2019, 2020, we had budgeted almost 156,000. We only spent 121,000. And there could have been some of the same issue, was turnover. Yep. Is 129, you looked at that, are you real comfortable, with the starting pays that we spoke about, and things like that? Do you think we can be competitive with that number? Do we need to become even more competitive and look at that again? I mean, if this is what, if the dollar amounts and things that you and I spoke about comes out to 129,880, could we even make it more desirable through payroll? Or another stupid question, I don't know if the city can even do this, I think other cities might be, is doing a sign-on bonus. Come with us, you get a $3,000 bonus or something. I mean, I don't know, it looks like we're leaving a lot of room on the table, a lot of money on the table that we might be able to incentivize getting officers in here. Gosh, I see it right now, another $1 or $2 an hour, and you're talking highest and, besides, Flint County themselves, I don't know if there's another, agency around here that would pay that kind of money.
Well, I kind of brought it up, higher than most of the other agencies around
You still, okay, that's that dollar amount you were talking about, that 129?
Start out.
So you're saying that you're gonna pay them, how much a year? Like 37,000?
Well, we're talking hourly, so what we're
Well.
talking.
here. It comes out to about like $18 an hour.
Yeah,
Dollars now.
yeah, and we've been paying 15, 16 to start. And that's what we've been doing all this time, and that's some of the things that a lot of people don't realize, you know. Yeah, things are getting higher, everything is getting expensive, it's not because we like it or want it to do, we would love to do every year, but. You know, we have bills to pay, we have expenses, those expenses are going up every month. We're in every area of the city, we're getting increases from everybody.
I didn't think about that, though. Hire someone with experience that would be the second in command, and they should probably make more than
Yes, yes.
raise that one, keep one at 18 and raise the other one up.
So do you have a paper?
That'd be $2,080 more.
So should we go, so $2,080, is that?
Yep.
Are you trying to add $1 for, okay, is that enough?
For,
No, that's $1 for a second in command.
Yeah.
How many hours are you gonna work a week?
40, it's 2,080, that's only,
Well, that's when you get some overtime. then.
oh, yeah. And 800, 880 plus 208. So it comes up to 130. Let's just call it 132.
And that's one officer, an extra $1 an hour.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having that, salary. When we're talking 132, what do you think about having 135, 140?
What about 135?
And that would get you about $2 more an hour for your second in command. That's 3.
Mhm.
And then 2 for your next. We ought to be able to get it.
I just want some incentive
That's
out there.
basically $20 an hour for your second in command. That's a pretty good incentive.
41.6 gets you $20 an
I think we do it.
hour. I vote for it.
So what figure?
Huh?
Which figure? So you know, I was talking 135 and 140.
135.
41.6 an hour.
So that's one of them, right?
That would be the second in command.
So 140 ought to put us where we need to be to be over
Yeah, and then plus that might even leave a little room for somebody that's got 10 or 15 years of service. I mean, you'd hate to bring in somebody that's got 10 or 15 years of service versus a new guy that's got 2 or 3 years. They can, you know, so maybe at 140, we got a little bit more leeway. We could, you know, work with that person that's got 10 or 15 years and leave the other, the newbie, so to speak. Start, it's not fair for somebody that's been in the business 3 years to get the same amount of money as somebody that's been in 10, 15, 20 years. It's just not, it's not right. It's not fair.
They're not gonna sign up for one.
Yeah, they won't, yeah.
Plus that
So-
helps us retaining people. That's one of the issues we've had here is retaining people.
Well, it's usually not about money, it's about management. And the age-old saying, people don't quit jobs, they quit management. And I think that's a lot different today than it's been in a while, so.
We're going on.
140, and that gives you some leeway.
Okay.
Go up there, you got it, go up on your overtime a little bit, or you just had to keep your overtime down for it.
I'm trying to keep the overtime down.
Yeah, I think, you know, correct me if I'm wrong here, police overtime is easier to control than a lot of other overtime. Because like, let's get an example, Michael. Michael has a main blow at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There is no helping that overtime.
Yes. is that $5,000 based on a certain amount of hours? How did you pick that $5,000? Look at the timeline.
You can tell us if you just took a swag at it.
No, I think it did. I looked at it, what it was before.
Okay.
And I figured, I had wrote down so many hours for them.
What, where do we at? This is,
Overtime, because if you took it on an hourly basis, calculating an hour, then it does need to go up because you just raised their pay. But if you just took it just as a basis over the years, then we could probably get away with it.
well, last year, the last fiscal year, we had 10,000 budgeted and only spent 6,600. The year before that, we had 8,000 budgeted.
But
It's been
we
97.
haven't had an officer making overtime.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You're closer to.
Yeah,
Yeah, because see, an officer can actually work up to 84 hours in a pay period without making the 4 hours.
and that's because of the,
Paperwork.
oh,
Yeah, in that, law enforcement, like, was up to
okay. So where you at, Leon?
I think 10.
I think you gotta go up then, looking at your past, I heard somebody say 75, and kind of what I was thinking about.
Leon said 10.
I'm good.
I say
Eight. That sounds like a.
He's gonna meet us in the middle.
Meet in the middle, 8. I go
Okay.
there.
8 sounds good to me.
Okay.
8. Since I got it all, anyway, okay.
Right, figured that second come in.
Okay, moving on to, merit increases, pre-employment screen. The pre-employment screen, 200, what does it cost us?
$50.
We're talking about an officer now, cost more than that, don't it?
Well, I don't know if,
Do
we do the drug screen. I don't know, do you do a psych exam? Is that,
Most agencies make them pay for their own site.
I thought that's what we had done before, but I
That's
know
your,
it's.
it's your business, not mine, I don't know anything about it.
There's a big family that have to be, I know we did for the chief, that we.
They go to school. They have to go to a school every other year. He'll be attending next year, then every 2 years he'll be going.
And the psychological.
Okay.
And looking at past history. We've gone through some officers. We can get some to keep it, and we should be good.
Yeah, I'm good with that. So moving on to FICA, unemployment tax, work comp.
Insurance,
Yes, ma'am.
that is off by $1,000. That should be 33,000.
33,000.
Yes.
Office supplies at 1,500. Good.
Yeah. That's a lot for that.
You already know what I'm talking about.
Get the horse. Get the horse carried back out.
Man,
Well, we don't know if there's prediction, they go up to $4 a gallon.
Yeah.
yeah, true.
That's 14.50 a month.
But people will be staying home. They will be staying home.
It's one that we just can't argue with. It is.
$360 a week.
So we're gonna leave that? That's fine. Okay. That's fine. Yeah.
But we can't
Are they
argue
tied
about
or
it.
fairly?
Yeah. And I think where we're at right now. A while back, I figured it, we only spent a third of it after 6 months, we were several months into the year. We only used a third of it. What about, yeah, well, we, at the time we did, when I figured that. Next is travel and training, 2,000, is that enough? Do you have to go this year, John? Or is it next year? This is already off September.
I gotta go within a year.
Okay, so you'll go next year, so And do you know how much that class is and where it's at?
Yeah, the class is gonna be because the new chiefs will be the responsibility.
Okay, so then, will 2,000 be enough to cover those expenses? Cause you have to go, you're gonna have to pay for the class. Then you gotta have motel, travel, meals, everything with it. Do you think 2,000 is gonna be enough to cover that? I mean, I'd rather shoot a little high and come in low than to shoot low and come in high, you know what I mean?
How much is the class?
I didn't check on that.
But it's gotta be $1,500. You,
I'm thinking that it was, like $750 for the motel, for a week.
yeah,
Yeah.
4 nights, I mean,
So
one of those Sunday night.
he may be
Sunday,
in line with
Monday,
that 2,000.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is 5 nights, 5 nights a room. It's, let's just say 6 and a half per room for a week.
For him.
Sounds like he's pretty
Drive back.
But
and
does
Probably,
he have anybody else that's
They
gonna
probably let
have
you
some
stay in
kind
the
of
prison for
training?
free.
No, they still charge you for staying.
But do you have anybody else that's gonna have some training some year? You put in
Those classes are like about $35-40. It's just kind of a real, they're not very
Yeah, the only
expensive
one
for
would
They're
a.
1 day down.
Are they online or? Some of them are online? Yeah.
Most of them are online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're down to that, we're down to training grant. What would that, how would that be an expenditure? What is that? What is that?
When we get the money for the training, it's a revenue that comes in and it's spent, we use it back out of the police department, they use that.
Okay. So would that partially cover?
Yeah, that would be.
Oh, okay. So really on travel training, we're looking at having 20 a quarter.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that sounds fair. Telephone 700, that's not very much, for the chief's phone and the duty phone.
No,
that's
that's
just
for the
station.
office. That's for the office itself.
Oh, you have cell phone, okay, cell phone next, okay, I thought it was a good deal. We spend $700 a year in telephone, it's not included in on that, or is that split up?
It's
Oh,
split to each
okay.
department.
Okay,
58.
but how is it split up, is it split up 50/50 or?
That,
Because we've only got one phone number, or we got more, we got one person.
but we account for like water, then, administration, court, and then post department.
Okay, you split it up all the, okay. So now we're getting into the cell phone.
Four phones, basically, so.
We don't need 4 phones. We don't need that. All we need is a duty phone. All we need is, the chief needs a phone, we need a duty phone, and that should cover us.
That's roughly 180 a month, 2160 roughly.
Well, that was part of the problem we had in the past, we spent so much money. You look at 2019, 2020, we budgeted 16, I wasn't wrong. There's no action.
3,000.
Yeah, 3,000. Well, that's either way, it's still part of the problem in the past, is everybody had a phone. And with one person on duty, you only need one phone. And we can turn it and leave it for the next guy. It needs to be a duty phone rather than their own personal cell phone.
So then that $60 a month per phone, on average. I don't know exactly what we're paying, that's $14.40.
See, it's not been being broken out. It's drafted out of administration.
Yeah, but if the police department only has 2 phones, we're not even their part of the phone, plus you've got code enforcement.
So,
Yeah, and I agree with that, but I just don't, I think 2,500 for a cell phone for the police department, for just one chief phone and a duty phone, That just sounds like an awful lot of money. For 2 phones.
We've got to
You made
talk
the
about-
math on that?
It needs to be $14.40 at $60 a month. Now, if you wanna figure out what that 2,500 is,
I would just say knock off 1,000 and make it 15 even. You agree with that, Leon? Or are you doing some math?
No,
1,500.
You're Pam, Robin, Chris?
I'm good.
Okay.
Huh?
Well,
well, it's.
Well, it's-
energetic.
No. But at least it leaves a little bit more room for you
So-
in other areas.
That does answer another question there. Are the phones insured or are we, if something happened, are we stuck coming up with a deductible or whatever?
No,
Is that why that number would be higher?
I would think that these phones that we have are insured and as old as they are, I think it's time to upgrade them.
Yeah.
Oh.
And with the other ones,
You may need to leave that alone then, so
Yeah.
or replace the phone.
Yeah, because I had to upgrade some of my phones.
We can get those lively clips pretty cheap.
and the one that I'm using, I had to bring it, but the screen was all, and I thought it was today, it's all scratched up.
Oh,
Most of them got wipe it out.
so what do you guys wanna do then?
We can leave
I think we need to leave it.
Leave it at 25?
27.
it. You just want that much?
Well,
But it's cheap.
But we would only be upgrading.
Yeah.
2 phones and 1 duty phone. Well, that's not bad. Equipment repair, that's equipment repair, not vehicle repair. What equipment do we have?
radio.
Is that part of radios?
Radar gun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Printers. The little printers on the
Oh, I've
car.
got, I put a line through that accidentally. from the one above it. Pam has brought up that we skipped, when I circled the cell phone number, I put a line through the next line item, which was advertising and printing. So we kind of skipped over through that, that would be, what would we use?
Searching for somebody for, well,
Can you use it for some of that code stuff we're gonna need?
Sometimes they have to have some things, documents printed, so I do know, just like the code things where he has the NCR papers,
The duplicate in terms of the form stuff.
sometimes you never know what they're gonna have to have.
All right, 250, that's a minute amount. Repair, getting back to that. John, when do we expect, or suspect that, that county is gonna change radio system?
Alright.
And is that in there? Is that in the budget, or what, how did you surmise on that? I just go on that budget.
Equipment repair?
Yeah.
Well,
That's a repair thing like, little portable printers that go in the car, anything that breaks in the car. Just, put on flashlights that you gotta do some back and get redone. or something.
Okay.
I got one on there, can redone.
Okay.
You think that's enough?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully there ain't a whole lot of equipment.
Okay. So, is everybody in favor of leaving it like it is? Leon,
I'm good.
Pam?
Yeah.
Robin?
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah.
Okay, with it is, moving on to vehicle maintenance and repair of 5,000. Last year, looks like we budgeted 45, we used 2,300. 1 year we budgeted 8,000 and spent 11,000. But that was, I want to say there was on the one that we spent 11 on 12,000, seemed like there was a couple of decent accidents that we got involved in, the training on one of it, for a transmission and one of them.
and that truck, there was some major repair on that truck at that time as well.
Well, yeah,
But no, that was before then.
so it's 5,000, y'all feel 5,000 is enough, but just three, you've been driving all the three vehicles, you've been rotating them since you've been here. Do you know of anything? Anything you need? Now, would that include tires? Yeah, I see tires now, just tires, those tires go to police cars. That's-
What kind of debt was it? Which one of those cars?
I think our deductible is $2,000.
So, yeah, two.
So, still on vehicle maintenance and repair, we're losing 5,000. Is sufficient enough for that?
Yeah, he thought it was good.
Okay. Okay, everybody okay with that?
I'm okay with it.
Everybody? Bam, Robin, Chris? Yeah. Moving on to general liability insurance. Yeah, okay, do that. So. Property insurance, $2,200. What's that? Huh?
I would imagine that's the building.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, moving on down to uniforms, 1,500. Is that, I guess you figure
That's vehicle.
uniform? Vehicle is just nothing on it.
No.
That was that never happened.
And then is that
1,500 and that for uniforms, John?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because what's left over out of this one so far, I'm gonna get my uniforms, I already ordered the patches. But I'll have to do it out.
so you're using some of your year-end budget money to force-spend or pre-spend?
Yeah.
Okay. Tires, $2,000. How do our tires look on our vehicles now?
I just put new ones on the,
How much does that cost?
We'll see.
Yeah. Are those, high-speed performance tires? They are for 600?
retread?
Retread.
no, because, through the tire shops that go through the government program, I think the tires are only $7.
That's cheap. I think those things are rated at $200 an hour or something. They're rated real high.
I know we pay more than that in asphalt.
Wow. Okay, so we're okay with tires then? 2,000? We're
Because the
still,
Chargers have got.
we're still short of vehicles, so we're gonna end up adding another vehicle, right?
Mhm. But he just put brand new ones on this call.
Okay. Then the other one, the Chargers look okay?
Yeah, Chargers, they don't want you tires on.
Okay, all right. So we wanna leave that 2,000 like it is?
Yeah.
Leon?
Yeah, I'm good.
Leon? Robert, Chris? All right, next is radar certification. How much does it cost to get recertified? You're certified once and done?
Now, what that radar certification is, they come out once a year, the tanker comes out and certifies the radars.
Oh, they calibrate.
Calibrated, man.
Okay.
It's certified, you do no certification.
Okay.
How often do you have to do that? When they set your phone?
I think he just said once a year. Once a year or every 12 months?
Every 11 months and 31 days.
Depends on which month, right? Depends on what month he does it in.
Okay. Okay. Vehicle inspection.
Leap year, it's.
Okay, vehicle inspection, that's something like $7 or $8 a vehicle, isn't it? Yeah. Repeater link for radios, is that what's on our water tower? Those repeater links? Is it on both the north and south or just? It's just on south. Oh, I'm sorry, that's CompSync renewal was first, and then, repeater link, the CompSync renewal is a fixed cost, the only thing that would change there is if they went up, if they had an increase. And we just paid it, did we just pay that a couple of months ago or something?
Well, last month, we had already paid it, but remember last month at our council meeting, we had to renew the contract, they forgot to send the contract, so that's what we had on the council. meeting.
Okay, so the new contract does not indicate an increase. Okay, so we're good there. The repeater rate for the radios at 2,500. Is that just a lease like thing? What does that exactly pay for? I mean, it's not like you put a repeater link up and it stays that way. Do they have to go out and replace it or do maintenance on it or? It seems like once it's up and you get like an antenna.
Yeah, because, for that repeater, there's gonna be a license and it's operated.
Oh, okay.
We just do have to leasing the equipment.
I think so.
That's probably what it is.
I need to look into that because if they change over, I don't know if we're gonna need that. You know, if they change all the digital. everything.
What's the TCLEDDS subscription renewal?
That's T-Flags. That's, certified officers go into T-Flags and do their F5, L1 and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Certain station.
Okay, that's the route you take when you hire?
Yeah.
Okay, attorney's fees, you got 9,000? One of the big increase in that.
Because we didn't have enough budgeted in the other line items, that, with the increase out of the year, it's $22.50 a month.
Oh,
And that's times 12, so it's just split out in each department.
okay. Well, shows we spent $2,000 this year, no?
That's because we're not through. Each month we pay out of one account and then the next one
Okay.
kind of move around.
Okay. Code computer, software repair maintenance, $1,000. Where all is that included? Well, that's code computer, like for code enforcement? Is that what?
Yeah, that's good.
Code will possibly need some kind of, software.
Yeah, I thought the code-
There's a software called MyGo that I've
I
been
thought
told
the code
about.
enforcement already had that computer software, yeah. They've already got that in there. Oh, I didn't know it was there. All the computers,
Yeah, you didn't put it in code.
yeah.
Okay. So we gonna just leave that there? What about PD donations? What is that are we anticipating, spending some of the police department to donation?
We have a line item for income for PD donation, but we've only got $250 there for income. So we'd be spending more than what we get in.
And the people,
Probably.
That's 171140, right? PD donations?
Dick, you didn't have anything different in mind there, did you?
Huh?
You didn't have anything different in mind there, did you?
I didn't know if that was always been there. I mean,
no, I don't think nobody's gonna come out to $100 bill out the window.
that's why I was like, is that a revenue or? a
I
cost?
know that one of the motels here, out of appreciation, before has brought up, money at a couple of times.
So under the donation line on the income side, when you get money in, you gotta have a line on the outgoing side to spend.
Right. You gotta go back several pages, John, to where it gets, you go into, you gotta go to the second page of the budget, on the municipal court. Then it says expense at the top of that, I think it's the second page of the whole budget. You'll see expense. So the rest of the budget, we're dealing with expenses rather than income. So if you do see anything in there now, on any line item right now, they're all expenses, so we're trying to budget expenses rather than income. The next was computers for 3,200. Yeah, next for those computers are 3,200. Is this that dollar amount that we talked about getting those other computers? But I know we got, our computers are not, they're working fine, but I don't know if they'll last through the year.
And that's why I put that extra 32 in there, in case one goes down, or there's a place that they sell. They for computers, all refurbished with a 4-year warranty on for $599.
And they'll work with the printer guy?
Yeah, they're the exact same Panasonic stuff.
Okay.
And
All right,
it
so,
was almost that much to take those in heaven refurbished as you bought one already done. In a 4-year-old.
okay, everybody okay with leaving it at 3,200?
And there's also catching on the desktop.
Sure, yeah, there's more. All right, I'll add DD cleaning.
Yeah.
We were talking about this, the city hall and we're talking about a cleaning service. I'll come in and do the city hall and the police department. And I guess we're gonna split that in half, and we figured $400 a month, right? Just hoping that we can find a place at $400 a month. And,
That would be for the city hall and then, 200 for city hall, 200 for the police department.
okay. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Yes. How about the contingency, 5,000, what?
When y'all mentioned last night, these air conditioners, you got a big idea that he has air conditioners next door, they could go out too. So he
You
added that
mean like, HVAC?
in the police department.
It is a real bad.
So he added that today.
Well, that's fine.
Probably a good idea.
Contingency.
Mine just go down. I got no emergency fund. That's a big outdoor.
AC. Okay, so that finishes up the police department.
Bring up something real quick.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure there or go with going back and adding the fire inspector. There's gonna be reports and stuff that need to be done there. Do we need to look at something? Or is there somewhere where we could just take it to be able, because it's something, we're gonna have to come up with a report.
They got duplicate or triplicate
Yeah,
report that you leave when we know.
Yeah. So I'm just curious, do we need to be looking at something, or is there something there we could be using that data for now? I started looking at the report, that's all gonna have to be done.
I think it's a good idea, especially having at least a duplicate, but a triplicate would be nice. That way you're leaving one here and like you give them the yellow one and there's a pink and a blue. Well, the pink one could be for their second final notice.
It's something that we've got to evaluate, and we can evaluate it offline. I'm just more concerned on, is there a line item, means that we don't have a code and all that right now, that we could use that from, because as we start moving through with our plan, we're gonna need to getting those done. There you go.
That's not like we can write it in. And we
Yes.
we can order more if we need
That's some of it, but there's other, you're gonna have check sheets.
that. Those we could put here if we.
The code
Okay.
citation, we use, I'm with them on top.
Okay.
The trainer, you know,
He almost was giving him something to do. I mean, that's what this was leading up to. You was building your own task, you know.
well, because we can make them like this.
Yes.
And that way they have several copies.
Okay.
And then that way we have more of them, put in there with, on the fire code and stuff.
That was my biggest concern, because there's some things that's gonna need to be done. Those, we need to make some cards. So when you go in there and represent yourself and all that kind of stuff.
So we need to add more on the code side. So that you'll be able to add your,
That's why I was asking the question, because, I mean, we don't have a code right now. Chances are we could use it from there somewhere. Do we want to increase one of those? Am I just thinking outside the box too far right now?
is that considered office supply?
You got $800 in the total office fund.
And with a probably the one
Did you have friends?
I had it under sign.
Yeah, but under signs and things.
Oh,
There you go, $400 in fine.
Well, you won't be using the signs like that, will.
No, where's the pretty line? Let's just increase that one a little bit.
There's not a pretty line of code, but there is office supplies.
But that's fine.
At least one code.
Maybe
Yes.
1,200?
Under
I
office
think so.
supplies of the code.
Yeah, okay.
Give these triple copies away.
No,
And you go somewhere.
Okay. So that wraps up the police department, correct? Everybody agree, you know, Sam, Robert? All right, moving on to public works.
Mayor, real
Yes,
quick,
sir.
can we keep the same enthusiasm as we move in? Because I didn't have. this
Actually,
wonderful
we're gonna dim
experience
the
first time
lights
around.
and put some smoke in here, some fog.
I
and, you know.
I just want to enjoy this with y'all. That's the thing.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with road department and salary. Where did you, so let's say you cover that 15.5, huh?
Well, basically, what I'm trying to do is balance out that person's salary and actually make it a true number 6 months out of the year. So for me, that helps me, you know, if this person, let's say, goes to the county and gets a grader, goes to a safety utility class, something like that, then if I give this individual a pay raise, that compensates for that as well. So
We don't really, we haven't divided the three departments. We've never done it before.
no, but we have always had a guy that was paid out of roads.
Well, we've
and
always had it general fund. We've always had the general fund,
Right.
but we've never really split the labor. We can't even split the water sewer, much less a third, you know, out of general fund.
Well, this budget year we're in now, I don't know what happened with that, but going forward, we have always had a person that was dedicated to roads.
Yeah, yeah.
And also water sewer. So anyways, I just want to make sure that I'm actually paying for an equipment operator what he's worth.
Okay. All right. Moving on down. Yeah, actually, not enough on there for 1,500. You're only talking now, but that doesn't include Mark Monroe.
No,
No,
this
no,
is,
no,
this
this
is
is
something
general fund.
completely.
Oh, general fund.
Yeah,
You're
we're
not
not
on
doing water
roads.
sewer.
They road. So where's it 1,500 for contract labor come
In the
in?
past, we've had to pay, we've paid some of the people from the fire department to like working on the roads today, traffic control. There's been different situations where we've had to have somebody else, you know, just.
Okay,
And really, we need to get back to that because we have people flying past us at 50, 60 miles an hour.
yeah.
So that's not paying somebody from the fire department, that's paying the fire department or?
No, it's, I can't remember, there was a couple of the fire department members that we just paid on contract labor for a day to come.
To
do
come
it.
on
It
a
wasn't,
And we gotta review that because that's not,
it wasn't in relation to the fire department.
but they took a fire truck in there.
No, no.
Okay. Good enough.
They were not working that day
Right, okay.
and we asked them to do it. And it was nothing like that. It wasn't related to the
Okay,
fire
see,
department.
Fred, see.
Fire department.
Thank you.
Please.
Remember festive.
Okay. Back up,
No, you're cheap.
uniform. Work,
And the uniforms for that, that would just be, which I need to go get some, but the safety vest, right now, we're not tech stop compliant when we're on the road. We're supposed to have bright yellow safety gear on. We're supposed to have hard hats. But anyways, we're supposed to have safety gear on and we don't have it.
Is that
There's no
enough?
good luck with that. That's your responsibility to make sure they have it on.
Right.
Is that enough?
No, not if you- unless you already have safety hats.
No, we don't. We do not have it. So,
well.
I mean, if we start adding hard hats into the picture, you know how much those are. So
If
that
that is a
decent one's
requirement,
$20,
though.
$30. They, well, TxDOT says you have to have a hard hat, safety vest. You have to have certain signs placed at a certain place. So
Would OSHA have something to say? about
here's
that?
what helps the city. If we're out on the highway, it is absolutely mandated by the state that we have those things. If we are on a city street, we are not bound to TxDOT rules. But I still believe we need the safety vest.
Yeah.
Oh, is it, you know that?
Comfortable with it?
Well, the question is, it's very rare that we're gonna be on the highway and need a hard hat. But I can get them in case that time does happen.
That one time a year, if you don't have them, then you're not fine.
That's true.
How much is a hard hat?
But
A
you still
decent
didn't
one's
answer
20,
the
30
question.
bucks. A decent hard hat is 20 or 30 bucks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So, I'm in people that can require.
Pretty much,
Then you gotta have vests.
vests are, they're very cheap, they're not very expensive.
So you think, yeah, I do. So 500 is good?
I think so.
Okay, work comp is work comp. Vehicle fuel, oh, now this is vehicle fuel for,
Well, this is a question I had because we're talking road department.
yeah,
What vehicle do we have in road department?
no, well, now, as we're using it, the grader uses fuel.
But it has its own line.
Equipment field,
Yeah. I have researched.
I see vehicle
researched
fuel,
this.
I see vehicle fuel.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this is.
I think in the past, because, that was specifically one person and they had a vehicle.
I believe it's one of the take-home vehicles, yeah, probably you're probably right.
It
Well,
was in the past.
to me, this line item is unnecessary. I don't have a truck that is dedicated to the roads.
Yeah,
That's-
Everything's water suited.
so we would just scratch the whole item. Leon says he thinks he went.
I agree, zero that out.
Pam, Robert, zero.
You just don't sell yourself short.
Nah.
All right, moving on down to equipment tires, 3,500.
Well, let's back up to 174,109.
You got nothing in there.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's great. Thank you, then. All right, so quick tires. Yes. So basically, I'm gonna need this next year, probably 2 more tires for the grader. Right now, I've got 4 newer tires and 2 bald tires. The backhoe's got new tires all the way around.
Can you not get those this fiscal year? Those two, you get the tire.
I can.
Not necessarily put a wall,
I
just
can.
involved, just get tire. How much, you know, any idea what they go?
Was it 550, 560?
A piece.
Something
Well,
like
you're
that.
expensive. I mean,
Yeah.
because, I mean, there's some maintenance.
And it takes about 3 years to wear one completely.
Yeah, I would like to see you go ahead and get them now before this fiscal year.
One and take care of it, so that would not be something I had to worry about. in this year. He's already on it. Anyways, I know, that's funny.
I ain't talked to him today. I only talked to him once this morning to see how he was feeling, just to check up on him, and he's still feeling a little rough.
It doesn't matter how
We
he
didn't
feels,
talk
he still
about,
calls.
we didn't talk any business, or, you know, anything like that. It was just a, how you doing, or whatever. I'm just laughing because you got so many, told us twice, and told the same thing.
So we're
So
leaving
we're
it.
leaving that alone?
Are we leaving it or are we?
I would say leave it alone, because this year, surprisingly, the backhoe, we've had a few blowouts that.
Yeah, we have,
That caught me
yeah.
off guard, so.
Yeah, it was.
And one of them was a brand new back tire, which is a $700 tire.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
No warranty on the tire?
No, I mean, I had them come put tubes in it, but, you know, once a backhoe tire gets a hole in it, you put
Yeah.
a tube in it, you're good for about 2 weeks and pop, there that goes.
Yeah. Okay, so equipment tower 30,000, leave it as it is. What about equipment fuel 2,000?
Today-
Use the road grader, what if we backhoe?
Well, you're talking about, you know, the diesel fuel that I use for it, which I'm out again. I need to order another 200 to 300 gallons. And today I did not have time to really sit down with Ken and look at what we used recently on Duco or for the diesel. So that one, I was gonna increase 2,500, maybe 2,800. Cause I know every time we order fuel, it's pretty darn expensive at 300 gallons a shot.
So which one?
I would say 2,500 would be the lowest that I would put that.
That, for 174,111,
Yes,
2,500.
yes.
Leon, you okay?
I'm okay with that.
Ben? Robin? Chris?
As long as he's not selling himself short.
I don't believe I am. I mean,
You
we're
want
pretty
us to bump it
conservative
up
on our
to
diesel,
3?
so. Ma'am?
I was saying, you want to go ahead and increase it to 3,000?
No, I think that'd be overshooting it too much. I think 2,500.
Okay, the next biggie is 174,114, the equipment maintenance and repair. We've got budgeted at 8,000. The last time we spent any significant money according to this was back in the fiscal year, 2019, 2020, where we spent about $6,000 out of an $8,000 budget. And we haven't really spent that much since then, and even,
Can I interrupt you?
yes,
Not to anybody's horn, but had Kevin and Jason not worked on my equipment as much as they did, I'm telling you right now, that $8,000 would be gone.
yeah.
I mean, the Mini X is so bad that we're at a point where we're fixing that. We're gonna have to do something.
Yeah.
So, which is why I said, you know, we needed to put it in the water sewer budget for the Mini X. So had they not serviced my equipment, and I'm telling you, they work with my equipment pretty much all summer.
Yeah.
So that 8,000 will be gone. And I'm about to send the backhoe to the shop. And I can tell you right now, that's gonna be at least 15 to
Is
18
that a
dollars.
motor, hydraulics, what is it? What's?
The joystick on the boom is completely separated, so now I'm trying to control it, it's like a rodeo, that sucker will swing wildly. And then the front loader, when you go to curl up, it'll slam and throw the rock back on you. So we're trying to make it work until we can get our agreement signed and sent in to where we can be on a PO program, to where they can just come get it, because otherwise they want it with RDO, which is who we bought it through. And right now, if I use the city credit card, I have to give them $1,800 to $2,000 up front before they'll even touch it. So anyways, right now, we're working on that part of it, and then I'm gonna have them.
Will they estimate it? Well, they'll give us an estimate.
On fixing it. Oh, yeah, if they come here to fix it, it's $275 an hour. To work
Will they
on it.
come and estimate it? Give us an estimation.
He did, they quoted me a price for them to send a tech out. That's gonna be $450 there and back. That's one trip. If he gets here and he doesn't have the part and he has to go back to McKinney, that's another $450. While he's here doing the work, it's $250 to $275 an hour. If I have them come pick it up and take it back, it's $200. Then they charge $75 an hour there at their shop.
Why wouldn't we just have to take it to their stop?
Well, that's what I'm gonna do, but if I have to use the city credit card, they want $1,800.
Okay. So it's 8,000?
8,000 there.
I think 8,000 is right on the line. I don't want to go any higher than that, but I think that's right on the line. And if
Well,
I'm
I'm
able to
gonna
get
be
a little
realistic.
equipment this year, I think that'll be fine.
I just don't want to get into June or July and find out we've blown the budget for equipment maintenance. But, Leon, maintenance at 8,000?
What,
Yeah,
what if we raise it to 9?
I really think 8,000 will be fine.
Okay. We can do that.
Bam? Robin?
I don't know, I think it's gonna need more.
Yeah, I'm thinking if we took, we took that 2,800 out of the fuel, why don't we just add it on to that?
Yeah,
Not bad idea.
We took that out.
Well, that makes sense. I'm just trying not to spend more money.
No, we're not supposed to be,
Just because it's extra.
yeah, I would rather over budget than, I mean,
you're talking right on the line, to be able to get this done, if you have something else major that comes along, you don't have any money.
Right.
So,
listen, you've done a great job, exactly what I wanted from the beginning is that we have wiped that phrase out, use it or lose it. We're not operating like that no more.
Right.
So we're not, if we were operating like that, then yeah, this would be a free for all right here, but we're really sticking to our budget, so. So what is that moving to?
10K.
It makes it 10,000 even?
Well, we
Oh, wait.
took off 2,800, but we can just make that 10.
Okay, so equipment maintenance from 8,000 to 10,000.
I would put that.
Okay, yeah, I would do that, actually. What, general liability, property insurance, that's a no-brainer. The next one coming up is 25,000 for equipment purchase. Is that for the Miniac?
Well, the Miniacs would be water sewer.
Oh,
So
that's
I
right.
put this 25,000 in there for either a brand new dump truck or pretty close to it, or 2 small 4-yard trucks.
Hey, Mike,
But this will cover me getting the dump trucks.
when I was on my way to Rockall the other day, there's a sand and gravel place there on 276. I think you probably know where it is.
Yeah,
There's a dump truck and a dump trailer sitting on the side of the road up there for sale. I don't know, it looked like it was in really good shape too.
usually you can get lucky. It's usually one time a year, and it's this exact time of year when cities are doing exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
Cities like a few years ago, before we got the dump trailer, the city of Wiley was selling their 6-yard truck, single axle. They were 2 years old, 20,000 miles, AC, radio, nice paint, everything works for $6,700.
Oh, my.
So I think this is the time, once this new budget year starts,
Yeah, I
for me to
agree.
go out there and see what city's selling a truck like that.
Yeah.
But dump trailers, I never, ever want to do that.
Yeah, we need to
Well,
get rid
this
of
is just, this is
it.
one of those big dump
It was
trailers.
the dump truck bed.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know, that'd be hard. It's too double.
Yeah.
They are back around.
In our neighborhood, it would be.
Yeah, I'd rather see you get a right size dump truck instead of 2 little ones, because you just gotta pay more insurance, more tires, more everything.
Well, just remember this, if we get a 10-yard truck like the old blue one we had,
Yeah,
you have to have a CDL
Oh,
Class B
yeah.
driver, and Steve had that license. We don't have anyone with a Class B. So if I get a single axle 6-yard, I can still haul some pretty good material. So my thought was, well, what if I can find a 4-yard that's on an F-450, where we can get down these little narrow roads with some pole sand, do some patching, use the other truck for, bigger jobs. So I'm trying to figure out a way to make this happen. And I thought 25,000 was a good number to cover
Yeah.
whatever we did.
Okay, I agree with that. I agree with that.
I agree with it, just keep in mind though, that that's just the purchase of it, and you gotta buy insurance for it and tires for it, and
Right,
so you're gonna have added expenses of having 2 vehicles instead of 1.
Yeah.
right.
But if he saves all that money, like you said, buying from the city, we should be okay.
On our insurance, I need you to go over the list of items that have been removed that have been sold,
Okay.
that need to be taken off of our insurance.
Okay, so, around the table here, equipment purchase 25,000, we leave it like it is now. Bam?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the way around. Moving down to rock, sand, I'm gonna include, 174, 121, and 122. Because really, I know they're different materials or whatever, but I guess, we're out in the field we have to move some of those numbers around because it's just the way they are. We have a lot of rock roads and we're trying to get to the point where we can have oil sand roads, but it just takes time. It's gonna take years for us to completely convert all these roads to oil sand. Uh, 3 years, almost 4 years, it's coming up really well, real well. And we got dump trucks, buses, we got all the stuff going on our road too. That's held up really well. So we're looking at 65,000 for total. It looks like we had budgeted the same this year, but it's only showing us using $22,000. What's wrong with those numbers?
I can't
We
answer.
used, we.
I can't answer to what happened before I got here. I can only answer to, since I've been here, I can tell you right now, I'm burning up some money in bond.
We
So-
bought a lot of rocks since you
Yeah.
were here. We didn't buy hardly any before you got here,
Right,
not in this fiscal year.
right,
We bought, I think, 1 load of oil sand
yeah.
and maybe a few loads of rock, and that was it.
Well, and here's the other thing too, before we actually worked out this agreement with the county, we were paying a lot of money.
We were spending almost $800
And we
for
were
rock.
spending more on the material, so here's what I'm gonna say to this, I'll put a lot of thought in this, I'll talk to Precinct Three's commissioner about this.
Precinct 3.
Philip Martin.
Okay.
My thought is this. There's no way that I'm gonna be able to burn all this up. So with a new year, why don't we leave it the way it is? And give me a full year of working roads. And let's see where we're at next budget year. If you are to increase anything, I would increase the rock. Because I go through more rock than I do this.
Well, why don't you, we need to know where we're at with rock and sand as of today. We need the P and L for that.
Well, that's
What
gonna
need
take
we
a
do?
minute. I just got the slips today and they're $1,200 a load.
How much?
1,200 a load, and that's how much oil sand is a load for 22 tons.
At our rate,
Yeah.
because we were running paid 1,800 or something like that. We got, it was,
Right,
With
you
the labor.
paid an additional $600-700, and I don't know how much they charged but they were bringing it in 10-yard dump trucks.
oh, you're right.
So
yeah.
we're getting 22 tons versus 10 tons.
Yeah, true, yeah,
For cheap, for
yeah,
cheap.
yeah.
Anyways,
With rocks, I think we're getting for $200 or $300 a load now.
oh yeah, 242.
And we were
260.
paying around 8. I
Yeah.
remember that, yeah.
Anyways, my point is I think as far as the oil sand, I think 40,000 will not only help me actually get roads that are already oil sand repaired, but I might be able to do what we talked about and start adding a road or two each year. Start the process and each year add another road that we oil sand.
Well,
Now it's gonna take, 5-6 years to kind of start really getting out there and getting all our roads.
are you gonna be able to stockpile what's left this year, or you only got
Oil
6
sand.
more weeks? About 6 weeks left.
Rock, yes.
Rock, are you gonna go?
So my thought
stockpile
is,
that?
I would like to get 10 to 15 more loads, which should cover us all the way through the winter and into the spring. And then I will start digging into the new budget when spring gets here.
So you're good with the 25 and 40?
I am, if there was one that I'm just not absolutely certain about, it's rock at 25. And the price of rock has gone up twice in the past year, and that's just on the county side. That's not even, for regular people. So,
How much more?
30 or?
How much more?
and I'd really rather leave that up to you guys. Jim, you've been in those meetings with me. We've talked about this 1,000 times.
I know.
What would you feel comfortable with?
30 maximum.
I mean, we get there. We could use Laurel Rock. We still got
We still need
some of the
rock.
roads that we've rocked, we twice, and it still needs more rock.
It needs more rock.
It needs more, I mean, it's just one of those roads that they must have not have got any rock in that road.
I can tell you right now, Sandy Lynn, I went and did an evaluation of Sandy Lynn. At a minimum, that's $2 billion just on cement to fit.
Is it halfway fixed? Is it decent now and better?
No, I mean, I can blade it, but I'm blading dust. So, you know, the guys, what I'm gonna do is have them take at least a couple of loads down there to fix the really bad areas, but I would like to get at least 40 tons on it. That's how bad it is.
So back to my original question, you may have answered it. Are we gonna be able to use up what money we've got in the budget today in the next 6 weeks?
That depends on being able to coordinate. And if that doesn't work out, then I would have to hire some independent drivers to start running the road.
Well, then, how does that, did we ever get an answer on that oil sand load, all that oil sand we're gonna get for West Traffic Code?
I did, no, we haven't, and I asked him to please.
We can't do it if it's gonna wait till next year,
Well, and
unless we can prepay.
I told him I need to do it in the next couple of weeks. So he's trying to coordinate how he's gonna pull that off.
Either that or find a way that we can prepay for the oil sand, so we can spend it and out of this budget and move on to the new budget. I don't want it to come out of next year's budget, because we talked about it and agreed to it during this fiscal year. I would rather get the asphalt or oil sand or prepay it.
I would say probably it wouldn't hurt if you and I sat down
Okay.
with him again.
I haven't talked to him in a while, he told me, this has been a while since I talked to him. Okay, so we're good, moving the rock and sand to 30,000, and leaving the paving material at 40.
Yes.
Okay, we got $2,500 down for culverts. Got a lot of growth going on right now, Michael. With
Yeah.
this number, this seems to always be the same figure every year, is 2,500.
Yeah, but with this growth, and not to mention, you know, Tim Horn has gone up in price. So culverts have gone up in price.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure about this one. I think if we're smart and we think about just what we know is going to take place, 4,800 is probably more realistic. But the thing with that is, that's if we're putting those in. I don't know how that's going to. Think about us putting them in.
can a homeowner, whatever they're doing, something,
They
maybe something,
can get a culvert from you. and
Yes.
make it- and
they
make
can
it-
do it themselves, okay.
And sometimes for them, if they, you know, most people that know how to do it, will just do it themselves. It's cheaper.
Well, there's not much to it, you know, but like, I noticed there's one needed over there on Curtis, on Harrelson that's needed.
So do we wanna leave that there or not?
There's just no way to be able to tell if they're gonna want us to do it or they're not gonna want us to do it.
Take this next year as a study of it and see.
We can, but I mean, I don't know if Indian Oaks with the houses that's being built there now, I don't know whether they're gonna need culverts or not.
They will.
So, I guess
Don't we make the,
they,
don't they pay for it?
yeah, I think.
Well, they get a permit, but they generally, those guys put them in themselves.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right, that's what I'm saying. Okay. Okay.
I mean, even if we put it in, they're gonna pay us to do it, right?
Right.
They're gonna pay for the permit, and then,
And for us to put it in.
Well, if they pay us to put it in, they don't do a permit to it.
they still have to have a permit.
Yeah,
That way, you know. y'all-
it has to be
y'all-
inspected and all that.
And with that, most of the time, they're gonna charge them, because they're gonna say, hey, you buy me the culvert, furnish the rock, and cover it as well as you're installing, so.
Right.
So they're gonna actually pay for it, so.
Okay.
So I think,
Okay, moving on to, street signs, $1,000.
I think that's.
We're talking about the name, like street signs, name street signs, right?
Well, right now, I've got a lot of street signs to put up. I just need some parts. So I think that should be fine.
Okay. Moving on to equipment rental, would that be like a roller?
I have a roller now that I'm losing now.
You know, how long have you got it for?
Well, I had planned to have it for 3 days, but I got canceled for tomorrow, so.
What's it
probably have-
costing us?
I don't remember. I need to paper.
6,000 cover it for a year? I mean, going in next year, I assume we're gonna be more oil sand next year. I'm hoping we do more oil sand each year. We progress and get more and more and more.
I need to do some more.
And that block base, we're talking about getting that base down, ahead of time is the key thing here.
I think that's plenty good.
Okay. What about, city Met traffic road?
Okay,
What is that?
that is, 2 payments for October and November. Our tax dollars do not come in until around December, January. That's just to make sure that we are not going to deplete our IMS.
So is this the money being paid back to EDC?
No, this is money for our debt. For Rabbit Cove Road, the loan that we took out from E EDC.
Well,
Right.
whatever. I'm not confused.
No, you
said it,
All right, okay.
it's going to the EDC.
Okay, all right, okay. Thank you all.
Moving on.
I know, we're just about done here. Okay, so that kind of wraps up the road department. Public Works Department, specifically roads, moving on to parks. And I think, guys, if we get through the parks now. Yeah, we're down to the whole stretch here. So park salaries, park goes, we've got $6,000 budgeted for that.
That's a number that, I think Kevin and I came up with.
That
I heard we
averages out
talked about that.
$500 a month to pay somebody to be the park host to come into the park with their RV.
Yeah, we already did.
And then they do maintenance and whatever in the park.
All right, that is. What you said is 3,500. Is that electric and water? What
That's
is-
just electric.
Uh,
We have to pay them back because that's not supposed, it's drafted out of that account, but it's not supposed to stay out of that. account.
Which kind was that?
The-
Oh, yeah, we can do that. No,
Well, I know Jim said you could.
no, I can't.
No, I mean, Jim Mack.
No.
Now, if it's coming out of the EDC, it's coming out of the sales tax.
Yeah, right.
But we
Hotel
can't
tax,
do it out of the occupancy.
they're real strict. Park utility, park equipment, repair and maintenance, $1,000 is nothing. For what's needed out there.
I agree with that, but, it's just my opinion. I think that we really need to do some things, so as far as the repair and maintenance part of it, I looked at the playground equipment, definitely needs some paint, there's, a few nuts and bolts here and there that need to be replaced, it wouldn't hurt to do a new slide. It's just my opinion.
The flower garden,
Yes,
I had one of the Keep West Walking Beautiful come in last week and said, can we just take that out? And I said, talking about the
Right by the
flowers.
water memorial.
Oh,
But there is a water,
there's a sprinkler system there, and I got a
There's
valve.
actually a pond type thing. Yeah. Yes.
You got electrical outlets all through there. I think that number is way too low. We need to spend some.
I can tell you this, I've been looking into it and a few years ago, a previous mayor that we had, I helped him replace some of the power lines that were in the ground.
Yeah.
And we noticed at that time that they were not in any type of sleep. It was-
yeah, right.
It
Oh,
was just electrical wires laying on the ground about 8 inches deep.
Mhm.
So we started looking at the boxes to all the poles. And they were in very bad shape. Now I've got lights that are falling
Yes.
from the light poles. So
Mhm.
that part of it, I'm not an electrician. I don't know much about that kind of stuff. So I don't really know how to approach that. I know we need a lot of electrical work and we need a lot of lights from this.
Yeah.
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 So I don't know where to go with that. And I don't think it's feasible to fix all this in 1 year.
He was talking about the mayor that did that. At the time, he was one of the road projects.
Well, at that time, I mean, I went out there helping because, you know, we needed some help, but anyways, I really don't know how to approach this. I can tell you this, I don't think it's realistic to think that we're gonna fix everything that's wrong with the electrical.
No.
Because it's very expensive to do that. So, but I would like to start getting some estimates on how we can place lines, fix the breaker boxes, because if you look at them, a lot of those, whatever they call them, the panels that the breakers sit on, they're fried.
Oh, I know, we've seen them smoking before.
Yeah,
So 5,000?
Yeah, at least,
I just don't know. I believe that's y'all. I don't know.
We could do, huh?
because those lights have got to be expensive.
They're
We've seen
expensive
them on the
and
ground.
you got someone that has one of those trucks that has a bucket that can. get up there
Yes.
too.
Yeah, they're pretty high up there.
Yeah, 40 feet.
So, or, I say maybe mention the 5,000. What do you
Yes.
think, Leon?
Just start.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
75.
Just start with Leon there. Let's go over there. Yeah.
I know we could spend 1,000 on the bathroom, but
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
What about the line item, park equipment repair and maintenance? What is your?
Well, that's playground equipment.
I got,
You talking about the playground equipment repair and maintenance?
no, the one we're on, the $1,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned 5,000, where you at least that? Okay, and Bam's salary, say 75.
75, because when you're talking electrical, you're gonna have to get an electrician out there. It's very expensive.
Yes,
And if nothing else, you've got to at least get the lights fixed so they're not gonna fall on somebody. We're gonna be liable for it.
well, we've had at least 2 falls so far.
Yeah.
So,
There's some that are dangling.
I got 5 at 75,
I think
something right bid here.
75.
What about you, Ronnie?
Thank you, Leon. All right, 75?
75.
So, everybody 75, good? Leon?
I'm good.
Van, Robert, Chris, 75.
Oh,
Everyone.
yes.
Okay, the next one is Park Fuel. For Park Fuel, we got 1,000. Am I assuming that's like fuel for lawnmowers?
Yes, and, well, and I don't think that in the past I don't think we were taking that from this line item, maybe like we should have. So I think $1,000 is probably pretty realistic for what we.
We have a great ARAP person.
Kim, I'm sorry.
She did it in this.
I said she's gonna be a sticker for us.
Well, I said we got a great ARAP person right here.
And we work well together.
Yeah, oh, yeah. So we gonna leave that 1,000?
I think that's more of a realistic number. I just think in the past, we didn't take that money out.
Yeah. Park playground equipment. We got 1,000, funding's 10 times worth that in repairs, but
Yeah, and it'd be nice if we could add a couple of things out there. That's just me throwing it out.
well, we've still debated on the under playground, right? We still gotta come up with that. I would like to, I know, Leon, Robert may have already looked at this, those shape things, I don't know if would those be worth, upgrade or not, or,
They would be worth it, but we need that underline at first.
yeah, that's what I was just asking.
But that should be this budget year. We're talking about next budget year right now.
So what do we wanna do with the 178-109 park playground equipment at $1,000?
At least one.
I don't know where that, all this money's gonna come from. I mean, I can see that being more realistic if it was $2,500.
How much would a slide cost? For sure, like you said.
There's a Broadway.
They're just-
3,000.
They're just under 1,000. I think, last time Randy looked into replacing that exact slide, it was like $700 and something dollars.
So wait a minute, you talking about that slide?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
that was 4 years ago.
It was a lot more than that.
Was it?
It was thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
wow.
one there, he's one that had that one repaired.
I took it down, took it to a body shop and had it repaired.
I just remember Randy putting Bongo or something in there.
Yeah, he took it down and had it done right. That was
It
3 or 4
held.
years ago.
Yeah, it's held pretty good. I mean, if they went riding skateboard.
Yeah, it was bad. It was, we had to take it down
Yeah, I think it down.
because
I didn't know
it was a danger. That,
And they even painted the whole thing. That's why the paint's coming off of it.
Right.
But I think it's still slidable. I think it's still good. I think
Go
it's still
try
good.
it. Well,
Yeah, I will. I'm afraid the ladder won't go to climb up it.
All right.
Well, then I'm gonna lean on you for that because you've done more research into all this playground.
Well, I know the
stuff.
slides are really expensive and they don't make a slide for that anymore. We'd have to jury rig it. And, you know, they don't make that slide anymore. Even that playground would.
Then I'll leave this to you because I don't know. I always had to lean on Randy because he would
Well,
try to find out.
we were hoping we'll get part of that TDM fund grant. We should be getting it. I'd be surprised if we didn't. And we'll just have to really dig into that and see what the limitations in spending is. I think it's pretty broad, what everybody tells me.
And there are 2 other slides on it.
There are?
Yeah. So, I mean, worst case scenario, if that slide got to where it was a hazard or something, you could just take it down and put a wall of something across there where they can't walk off the end of it. And keep using it. You could just do away with that slide until you can afford some new playground equipment.
So,
Back to 12-story high iron and sheet metal slide.
Yeah.
Builds character. I think it would really help us.
Arms and legs.
Right, so what we wanna do with that line?
Okay.
How much is paint to paint
Very
that?
appropriate.
Do you have to use special paint on that playground equipment?
You do,
Is it expensive?
it is.
Why don't we bump that repair maintenance up to 2,000? That help you on the playground equipment?
Well,
With that, now, how many gallons of paint does it take? It take a lot to paint that playground equipment. No?
which line item are you referring to?
The,
178, 113? No, I'm sorry. 178, 109.
Oh, well, that's just new, or that's just equipment.
Oh,
And then
that's
we
equipment,
have
I'm
the
sorry.
playground repair and
oh,
maintenance.
yeah, we raised another one.
Yeah,
113 is the.
Is a repair and maintenance.
The swings and everything are all in good shape?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to
They're
put some
not
new chain
bad.
on. They're okay,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't hurt.
Okay, so if we're talking about adding a piece of equipment, on an average, what does a piece of equipment run?
I would ask Leon.
It's
It
expensive.
depends on what you're looking at. I mean, they're, some of them are average, probably anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000 for.
Now, we did find a swing that was appearance swing, which is kind of the same idea as the child swing, except it was a bench.
It's a
And the
porch
parents can sit
swing.
on that, or the kids can sit on it too, anybody can, so that the parents can have a place to sit. And I think that was wasn't that like how much was that, like 1,800 or something like, it wasn't a
It wasn't
lot,
even that much, I don't think.
which would be a nice addition to the
I think you
playground.
could get a couple.
Because
of
we've
them
got
for
2 little benches there that have these wood chops on them that they keep taking off of.
Well, they're
Karen's got one of
breaking
them.
them.
Yes, see,
They're only held by 3 screws.
right.
The main thing that I see with playground stuff is in June, July, August, most of September, it can't even be used.
Well,
Well, that's where your shade would come in.
Yeah, that would help for sure.
just kind of a foresight for even next year, I'm thinking about adding some frisbee golf goals and clearing out some of the trees on the way down the points. So
Oh,
they can
yeah.
play frisbee golf.
Yeah,
And that would bring a lot of people.
yeah, a lot of people do that. So we're still at 178, 109 playground equipment, right?
So,
Yes.
so we probably need to go up to 2,000 on this, so that at least you could buy one piece of equipment if you decided you want.
2,000, 2,500?
No, I'm all here.
2,000.
2000. 2000 is.
I really hope we bring in some good revenue from the park.
Well, that's enough for that. Janitorial supplies, $500, that don't sound like much.
That's fine. You're talking
You
about
think
the
so?
bathroom, toilet paper.
Yeah, no, it's, $500 a year.
Single block.
Okay, park improvements, 2,000.
I mean,
Now they got park improvements and you got park playground equipment and better.
well, park improvements can be different things, you know, like the basketball goals or, you know, something like that.
I got two more of those basketball goals in my garage that need to be put up, and that'll make all three of them the same. I put one up,
Okay.
but I haven't been back out there to put the other two up.
You go to.
Park improvements can be anything like, I mean, think about our tent camping in the middle, on the side of the valley. We haven't used that in a long time. So
So you want to leave it at 2,000?
I would think 2,000 would be.
Are all the pavilions in good shape still? Is there
Yeah,
anything
For the
to
most
do
part, the
there?
only one that I really truly have a concern about is the one out on the point. I think in the beginning, maybe if we had stained it, it would have done a whole lot better. But it's got certain joints that look like they're gonna need bolts, nuts and bolts, probably paint at some point.
I'm surprised those picnic tables have held up so well.
I am too.
That's been over 3 years ago.
Well, if we can get them to stop building forts with them.
Yeah. But I mean, for the most part, people have left them in the pavilion, which I think helped tremendously, but.
Yeah.
For those things, the last
Well,
3
the ones
years,
that are still out there by the RV pad, they're still in pretty good shape. They
Yeah.
might-
women pay like,
The nameplate fell off mine.
Is parking?
No,
Is that
actually,
include parking?
I've got them in a bag and all. I haven't got them all printed out, but I got no way to attach, I never attach them. I forgot about it,
I'm-
you said something.
On
So-
parking area, do you want to do?
I would think so.
I would think so, yeah.
Right now, what I want to start off by doing is spraying poison, kill all the grass.
Yeah.
Re-rock it, and then figure out how we're gonna. We'll do that when it's-
Okay, so we leave that one at 2,000,
Chris, let me know.
we're gonna,
I'll get the fire
2,000.
station.
What about park playground equipment, repair and maintenance? It's 1,800.
Votes and everything else.
Like I'm trying to do for the end of this budget year, to me, you know, some of these I would combine together in a situation. Like say we found a piece of playground equipment that we thought was perfect for a park. I would combine a couple of these different line items to get what I needed.
There you go.
So looking at the numbers that I have, I kind of want to stick to them because if you add them all together, it's kind of what Leon would. I pull these few together and I've got them to do A and B.
Okay,
So,
okay, and we've still got EDC we can call on.
right, which I'm hoping Leon's gonna make that happen.
I'm trying
Park restroom maintenance, we've got at 2,000, I think.
Well, right,
A lot of work for under
Yeah.
that, I mean, a lot of work.
well, snow would really hurt
That's
us.
what I'm talking about, and we didn't spend near 2,000.
No, we didn't,
And we-
what was it, 13 or
Yeah.
1,500, something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. And
What about that door that's broken?
we do need to fix
Well, the
that.
problem with it is the jam itself, the whole thing
Yeah,
is messed up. And when, I guess when they built the restrooms, the inside jam was a part of the mason work, concrete, whatever they did to put it up against the cylinder blocks. So all of that has to be tore out.
to have to skip all those blocks out all the way around, refit it.
Yeah, so that in
Blocks
itself
back in.
is probably gonna cost a few grand just to do a door.
Why don't we fix it where, you know, like the restaurants are going nowadays where you don't even have a door to go in, but you have, you know, like a
Breezeway. to breeze.
breezeway, yeah.
It's
Put a shower.
individual rooms versus one room. So
Well, we gotta have doors on because people.
we do, right now I'm fixing to pull all the cylinders and make one key for every door for even at one.
So, the set of keys I got fits in 7, 10 different things.
It fits in different things.
We need to get that door fixed, definitely.
So,
Well, I gotta get the people that keep trying to live in the bathroom to stay. out.
Yeah,
so we're gonna leave that at 2,000?
I think so. I think the rest of it, the way that it is fine. The only thing that I was gonna ask that y'all know how I feel about miscellaneous, take the park miscellaneous out of there. y'all know, anytime it comes to miscellaneous, I take that out.
I hate miscellaneous, but I don't mind it being on there, but if you spend it, I would
She's
like.
real nice.
I would like to.
Miscellaneous. She's real sweet lady.
I mean, that's up to y'all. Y'all know how I feel about miscellaneous.
I don't want any miscellaneous under action.
Right.
You can have it, you can have it on
I'm
here.
gonna find out if there really does exist, miscellaneous.
Police department had one time, had $3,000 on it. They don't go fighting the crime with miscellaneous.
Okay.
So what are we doing with that one?
We're taking it out.
Taking it out.
So that concludes the fire department as well as the general fund.
I would like to thank
And with
you,
the
by the way.
exception, wait, excuse me.
Thank you. Y'all made that fun for me this time.
Nah, well, if we can't have fun working, we'll need to work. So really, it just takes us down to our incoming carryover.
How much we're gonna need to carry over, but I'll get the figures for us tomorrow night. Okay.
So this is no good today.
That, well, I
They
mean,
changed it.
this is what we want,
Yeah,
we're gonna have some excess funds in there because we didn't have, you know, as much this year.
with the numbers that you had in here, did you just 78,100?
We were using, that's,
That was
that
before we
is
changed
restricted,
it.
that's restricted, that's not included in this. All we were carrying over before we started tonight was 23,000. So.
That's all we were carrying over, the whole general budget? Really?
And we'll see what it comes up to here, and because we got,
Okay.
you know, we still have another month and a half, so the money is coming in.
And going out,
So
yeah.
that is true, you know, y'all are negative.
We're positive, we're positive it's going out.
See, okay, so let's get us back on track here. So we finished the general fund budget, and now we're down to number 7, adjourned. Attorney entertain a motion.
I'll second it.
Leon first, Robin second, all in favor?
Yeah,
Emery.
Robin Meyer.
Chris Burkett.
All right, it is unanimous, we are adjourned. Yes, no.
Leave that in the city.
you think, let's leave my book?